Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Guy Dawson Show at WCOBM.com. My name is Guy Dawson, and I am the managing member of Classy Communications, a full-service media and marketing company. If you would like to bring greater recognition to your business, your organization, or yourself personally, please get in contact with us at 702-845-6129 or visit our website, classycommunications.net. We are broadcasting to you live from the Gene Woods Racing Experience here in fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada.
Throw stone! No. Stone throw! No. Both times. So close.
Quan is back, and the stone throw is hers all over again. How are you? How are you, Quan?
This is the best part of
I haven't opened a show with you in a while since you took over my stone throw.
I enjoy this part, definitely. Even the best part is great. Going to be hotter and hotter today.
Yes, things are going to heat up on the Guy Dawson Show today. Wow. I don't know if they've ever been as hot as they will be today. We have some hot women, which all of you know I enjoy very much. And we have Sheila Kennedy. She is an actress who was a member of Big Brother, a very popular reality TV show. And more on the hot side, she was a Penthouse Pet of the Year in 1983. She's an actress, and we met recently at a Starbucks, as you all know. That's my home away from home.
Yeah, that's mine too.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Guy.
So a friend of mine introduced me to Sheila, and I reached out to her. I learned more about what she did some research, and you've had quite an interesting life.
Well, thank you. I mean, I think I have, and I've sort of reinvented myself every decade. So what I'm doing now is I have a book on Amazon and Barnes & Noble's site. It's called No One's Pet, and it's by Sheila Kennedy, myself, and Glenn Kinney, who did a fantastic job. But I'm looking to sort of do something different. Wasn't real happy about the cover, so I'm going to change some things around. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm trying to get that going.
So is that your real name on the book?
Yes, I used my real name when I posed nude, and that was like 30-something years ago. Wow. So I'm really aging myself right now, but I'm 54. And I just moved back to Las Vegas. I was here in the 70s, and I was discovered by a photographer at a casino here. So it's all started in Vegas.
Wow, how brave you are. You disclose your age right in front of the first minute. You're looking beautiful.
Yeah, but when you look like that when you're 54, you don't have to disclose your age.
Oh, my.
Well, and then I posed again, actually, in May of 2015.
Whoa.
Yes, in Penthouse Magazine.
Did you really?
Yes. So that was gutsy of me. I was a cougar issue. It was called Pet Confidentials, and actually a Penthouse pet. Sammy, she actually photographed me, and it's a nice little layout. It shows some of the photos that Bob Guccione did back in the day, in the 80s. He was the owner. I lived with him for 10 years, and she did a fantastic job. She shot me all over downtown LA, and I love the photos. They're beautiful. So,
Bob Guccione was a very famous person owning Penthouse Magazine back in those times. What was that like? I know you were very young when you started living with him and became a part of the whole Penthouse experience.
You know, I really want to say that I was naive and innocent, but I did come from Vegas. And it was pretty wild back in the 70s in Vegas, but Vegas it's like Disneyland for adults now. But when I lived here, it was just one little strip, and Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin and all those guys were, singing at the Wayne Newton, Engelbert Humperdinck, which they're in my book, by the way. I won't give any details. You'll have to buy my book.
Yes.
It was fantastic because I went from poverty to a mansion that was worth $34 million in Manhattan. And I think I was still a little naive when I got there. So, and a little culture shocked, too. But it was fantastic. And actually, I don't know if I put this in the book, but Donald Trump used to visit the house with Ivana when he was married to her. And he had a lot of really interesting people coming in and out the door at the mansion back in the 80s. Malcolm Forbes, I mean, the list is long, but it was great. What can I say? I mean, it was fabulous.
And you were a young woman, and
Yes.
obviously you were a model, and you were experiencing all these incredible things. And at what point did you transition into acting?
Well, when I was at the mansion with Bob, he was the one that photographed me. He flew me to Europe. We went all over Europe to do my layout, Paris and Rome and London. It was fabulous. And when I got back, I thought, okay, now what? You know, what do I do now? And of course, I had to work for the magazine, and I traveled signing autographs, because back in the day, the 80s, we were considered pseudo-celebrities. You know, the Playmates and the Pets would go to CES. We'd come to Vegas and sign autographs. And we just traveled all over the United States doing these, like, signings and opening up clubs and car shows and blah, 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 blah. And then I thought, I want something else. I want to do something else. And one of the pets, Corinne Alphen, who was a pet of the year before me, she was going on auditions, and I said, can I come along? And I went on auditions with her, and I ended up landing a lead role with Shelley Winters called Ellie. I was Ellie.
I was watching a
Yeah.
clip of that movie
Yeah.
on YouTube, and what a great experience that must have been.
It was fabulous, and she's a hoot. Let me tell you something about Shelley Winters. I mean, she was crazy. I watched her, though, because she's so talented, and I've watched some of her old movies lately from, you know, when she was doing black and white movies, and what a talented woman, and she was really wonderful to me. She really took me under her wing. She kind of showed me, you know, angles and how I should have my face, always turn it towards the camera, not away from the camera. And I learned a lot from her. And there were other people that were kind of older actors, Pat Paulson, George Gobel, Eddie Albert, which is Edward Albert's son from the Green Acres thing. And, you know, I mean, it was an amazing experience. And then I just went on and started auditioning and, you know, doing Spring Break, European Vacation.
I saw that. She had a cameo
I mean-
in Vacation. Now, how cool is that?
Yeah, I had no lines, but it was fabulous. And actually, the thing that just recently has been in the news, and I got a lot of really bad press on it because I was defending him, was I actually flew to Hawaii when my son was little and did Don Juan DeMarco with Johnny Depp and Marlon Brando, the late Marlon Brando, who's my hero, and I adore him. Godfather is one of my favorite movies. And, you know, I met him, and that story's in the book. He was absolutely wonderful, and I had the polar opposite experience with him from this whole thing that's in the news right now about the abuse. And I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm saying the experience I had with him. And so I got a lot of like hate on Twitter. And, you know, I mean, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to say this guy was amazing. And I saw his character. He was dating Kate Moss at the time. And he could have been with any woman on that set because there were tons of women. He was Don Juan DeMarco. And he chose not to. He had a lot of class. And there's the stories in my book, No One's Pet, about what happened on the set of Don Juan DeMarco. I was cut out of it, Guy.
I
was
know,
cut out of the movie.
and the thing is that
Yeah.
Sheila and I, part of our discussion is a leg of my company is publishing, and I help authors tell their stories and produce themselves. And it was just interesting to hear you share some of the challenges that you've had with your book. And I've done lectures on maintaining rights to things. And when you and I had that
Yes.
conversation, it took me back to that.
I mean, I'm grateful for the guys in New Jersey who really honestly put the money behind my project. And I had a dream of 20 years. It was 20 years ago that I was going to write a book about my life experience with Bob Guccione and the days in Vegas. And I had this dream. And then when it actually it was like every decade I was reinventing myself. And, I thought, wait a minute. When my son was born, the whole acting thing stopped. And I got a real job. And then I ended up auditioning years later for when my son was a teenager and I felt I could go back to the acting. I went on Craigslist and actually found a listing. It did not say Big Brother. It just said, would you like to go on a reality show and win $500,000 and meet your soulmate? And I'm thinking, yeah. Okay. Who doesn't want to do that? And my son said, Mom, you'll never make it. He goes, do you have any idea what you're getting yourself into? And it's a show, as you know. You're in a house for 3 months.
Yeah, Sheila, will you hold that thought? Because we're going to have to go to a commercial break. I want you
great.
to so go into Big Brother because that is a very popular show. And ever since I announced that I was having Sheila on the show today, everyone's been talking about Big Brother and how much they enjoyed her. So we want you to give us a great explanation of your experience.
Okay, sounds good.
We're going to take a short commercial break and be back with more of The Guy Dawson Show at WCOBM.com.